Hey, Pat Rigsby here, and in this episode, I want to talk with you about how I deal with fear. Now, this is something that a lot of people struggle with, but not enough people talk about, so we're going to dig into it in this episode. Let's get started. Welcome to the Fitness Business School with Pat Rigsby, the podcast for fitness entrepreneurs who want to make more income, have greater impact, and enjoy more freedom in their ideal business. If you'd like an accelerated route to these goals, email me at pat@patrigsby.com and put BGA in the subject line, and I'll get you all the details about our Business Growth Accelerator program. So I wanted to really dig in and talk about how I deal with fear, because I think a lot of people, they love to talk about their highlight reel, they talk about their successes, they make everything sound rosy, they make everything seem like they've achieved all sorts of success without having to deal with the obstacles and trials and tribulations that almost always are on the path to that success that they achieve. In fact, recently I've had a handful of conversations with people about fear and overcoming adversity. You know, people that thought they might fail, people who've been knocked down or maybe knocked themselves down even in a couple cases. And, they're not unique. They're not unique at all. They're not alone. In fact, we all have fears. We've all got our own challenges. We've all got our own struggles. And I know, speaking from my own experience, man, I know I have. And really, I mean, reflecting back, I've had 3 different points in my adult life where I really feared that I might fail, where an adversity that I had experienced made me really start to question myself. So I thought it might be useful to just talk about how I overcame those points or periods where I really started to struggle and had to kind of deal with fear myself. So the first thing that I would do in each case, and really I kind of do this anytime, I hit a bump in the road, not even a bigger event that might trigger that sort of fear or struggle or anxiety, but even just a small thing like running a promotion that doesn't go the way that I want, or something, that might just be a blip on the radar. The first thing that I do is I reflect back on the successes I've had to this point, what I've achieved and how I achieved it. Because let's face it, all of us have our own kind of set of wins, but a lot of times we kind of lose sight of those wins, and more importantly, we lose sight of the traits and the talents and the skills that we've used to create those successes, and know that those things are still there. I mean, the successes we've had are earned and deserved, and they were achieved basically by the skills and talents and things that we either have inherently or we've personally developed. And so it's always good to reflect back on that and to remind myself that you've done some pretty cool things, and they didn't happen by accident. And I think we can all do that same thing. It's too easy. I remember back in the period where I was coaching college baseball, it was too easy to get caught up in thinking that, you have a bad day at the plate or a bad day at the ballpark, and you think, okay, I'm a bad hitter or we're a bad team, when, maybe you have plenty of evidence to prove otherwise. So reflecting back on previous successes is always the first thing that I've done to deal with any sort of fear or struggle that I've had. And then the second thing that I have kind of just, I think, done intuitively is, I take the time to acknowledge that fear's a very natural response. But it's actually kind of a cliche, right? We've all seen that whole false evidence appearing real acronym. But like I think what we know about cliches is they're usually rooted in truth. And so if I look back and see all the successes that I've had and that's real, then, most of the fears that I've had were based on hypotheticals, things that might potentially happen, but I didn't have any evidence of happening. In fact, I think of it another way. I'll talk about it as being borrowing problems from the future, might be the way that I would phrase it. Things that we fear will happen down the line that more often than not never come to pass. So, I've always accepted, well, it's okay to have some fear of the unknown. I've earned the right to have some self-confidence, and I'm sure you have as well. And then the third thing that I do as a coping mechanism when I face some sort of fear is I start to stack up small wins. It's really, the easiest confidence builder I know. And it's just having those small successes. So instead of the natural reactions of, freezing or overthinking things whenever something doesn't go well, the way that I will cope with those after I kind of just do a little bit of reflection and try to keep fear in perspective is start to just stack up some small victories that give me a little bit of momentum. That's why, I talk so often about winning the day. You don't have to totally transform a business or whatever else, but the day is what's in front of you. You can, you can achieve what's on your to-do list. You can make a little bit of progress, take a small step towards a bigger goal. And if you stack up those small wins, you start to get momentum. And with that momentum, you get confidence, and there's just a snowball effect. And then finally, the fourth thing that I do, and I can't really sing the praises of this enough, is strengthening my own environment. What I'm reading, who I'm talking to, or who I'm spending time with. I always make sure that I'm purposefully putting myself in an environment that's going to lift me up and motivate me and push me to succeed. I mean, whether it's, spending time around people who've gotten to where I want to go, or reading things about people who've overcome adversities or challenges to achieve great things. That sort of thing really pushes me. So, that's part of why I love mastermind groups, and I love being involved in coaching and that sort of stuff, both from the delivery side and from being the client, having my own coaches or mentors or being parts of mastermind groups. Not only do you learn tactical things or strategic things, the education's great, but the environment really has helped me so much. When the norm might be higher than I came into that interaction with, like when I've been in a coaching group, the norm for that group might be outside of my current grasp. Before long, it becomes the expectation. So I think strengthening the environment's a big, big thing. So that's how I've dealt with my fears. Now, I can't promise that it's going to yield the same results for you that it has for me. I think every one of us has to have our own kind of process to cope with challenges or fears or struggles when they come along. But, I know that these things have served to some benefit with the people that I've shared them with in the past. So don't beat yourself up when you fail at something or when you encounter challenges. Don't let fear get the best of you. Let's face it, we all have them. It's just part of the process. It's part of life. So, stay the course towards where you want to go and use, these 4 steps or your own kind of coping or I guess coping mechanism or way of dealing with it as a tool to get you back on track. Because let's face it, you're pursuing something that the average person probably doesn't pursue. So you're going to face some uncommon challenges, and you need to have a way to get through them and overcome these fears and these small kind of bumps in the road so that you can achieve the things that you want to achieve. And it's going to probably help you be a better coach and better for the people you serve as well. So Just a few tips on dealing with fear. Hopefully they're of some help. I know they have been for me, and I suspect they will be for you as well. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Fitness Business School. And before you go, I have a quick announcement. When I first connect with a fitness business owner, they almost always ask me, how can I get more leads or how can I get more clients? Well, I have an exclusive offer for you, and it's going to help you do just that. As a listener of this show, you can test drive Fitness Lead Academy for 6 full weeks for just $1. Fitness Lead Academy is a one-of-a-kind program where you get done-for-you marketing tools and coaching to attract more qualified prospects and to convert them into paying clients. Imagine having 3 marketing emails written for you each and every week, 4 easy-to-deploy promotions provided to you that are proven to convert and they're ready to use, and proven ads and social media posts given to you each and every month as well. Plus, you have access to 3 weekly live video coaching sessions to help you with everything from dialing in your brand to navigating things like building funnels and getting ads approved. You get all of this and more when you join Fitness Lead Academy. And to prove that FLA can serve you as your virtual marketing department and not only save you plenty of time, but also consistently bring you more leads and clients, you can get access to the entire coaching program for 6 full weeks, again, for just $1. If it delivers for you in the way that I expect it will, you can continue on for just $199 a month. So basically, just 1 additional client each month and you're ROI positive. And I'm sure that if you apply what we give you, you're gonna get more than just 1 additional client each month, and you're gonna likely save at least 10 hours a month of work too. To take advantage of this special offer, just go to testdrivefla.com. Try it out for 6 full weeks. If it's not what you're looking for, you can cancel at any time. Just go to testdrivefla.com to get started.